Okay. So we read this idea that I am the source. Then why, this is reflected pretty much in all cultures, like the anyone who is enlightened have realized that the God is within. If the God is within, and this question of who am I is kind of raised by some spiritual teachers, I would say. So if you say, oh, I have so much suffering is going on, or I have so much success going on in life. So the question is, who is successful, who is enjoying that success, or who is suffering that failure? Correct. It's always the inner. So the God is never separated from us. It's been there all the time. Without his, what should I say, presence, we could not even have existed. Without his presence within, we could not have done anything. All this, what is called the consciousness, the power of consciousness, which propels us to do something, act on something, feel something, enjoy something, suffer something, is all because of the same energy, same source, same essence, right? So that's why, the people who are enlightened were able to say, I am the light, I am the truth, I am the way. Because they recognize that essence within, that omniscience within, omnipresence within. Then they can say that I am the truth. But for us, it is only information that the God is within, but it is not a realized information for us. It's just an external information, borrowed information. But the whole idea, process of meditation is to realize this information. All the information from outside, whether it's talks, readings, books, scriptures, everything is giving, they are like the guideposts. They are giving you some guidance, but we have to recognize it and realize it. I cannot say, oh, this spiritual anatomy is the everlasting truth. I consider this as my Bible. I cannot say that. I can emotionally think about it like that, but it's not going to help me, right? I can say anything as what do you say, the source of truth. But any verbal, written can never be the source of truth because that source is within. Unless we recognize that source within, unless we identify ourselves with that source within, the truth is far away from us. Okay, so that's the idea of this statement, I am the source. Aham Brahmasmi. That is the real meaning. Unless I realize it is never be true. It is true, but not true. It's like, somebody says, oh, you have an ancestral property of $1 billion. Uh, Technically or theoretically, conceptually, I'm a billionaire. Can I execute those billions? No, because I don't know where that money is. My grandfather would have left it for me, but I don't know where it is. So I'm a billionaire with, penniless billionaire. So I cannot exercise that money. Same thing here. The God is within, but can I exercise it? Unless I realize, unless I identify it within me, I cannot exercise it. I can never say I am the truth. So this whole exercise is to move towards it, right? And as far as the simplicity is concerned, What is simplicity? Is simplicity truly means a humble, less complex mind. Always we think simplicity means, oh, if I can just leave all my wealth, everything, and just put a lion cloth around me and roam around and don't earn any money, that doesn't simplify my life. In fact, it makes it more complex. The real simple life is where I get rid of. See, the whole heartfulness practice is designed to make us simple. How we get rid of all these impressions. The more impressions we get rid of, the mind becomes less complex. As the mind is becoming, free and less complex, it becomes a contemplative mind. So we have to understand this, the difference. So the mind has two sides. One side of the mind is always exploring the external, and all actions are possible because of its understanding of the external world. But it cannot gain that strength, confidence, unless the other side of it, the contemplative mind, is connected with the source. So through in meditation, we are creating that contemplative mind. And when the contemplative mind is influencing the external mind, then it becomes simple, right? So that's why we need both. I cannot negate all my external life for to be, to stay with internal, and vice versa. So in spirituality, there is no negation, it is all inclusive. What is good and what is bad? It's a very comparative statement. Anything which harms my contemplative mind is bad. So that discernment even begins because of the development of the contemplative mind, that inner connection. Suppose if I say, oh, the doctor says, oh, you have lot of blood pressure, you have to reduce your anger. How can I reduce my anger? If I knew how to reduce my anger, I would have done it already even before doctor said it to me. So all these good things are there. Every book says, you read any self-help book, they'll tell you how to do it. I mean, not how to do it, what to do it. But how to do it, no one tells you. Oh, you should be always thinking positive. How can I think positive when things are not going right in my life? I can be hopeful, but I cannot think positive. So this positiveness thing, negativeness, it's like the two poles of the magnet. Can the magnet exist without the South Pole, or can the magnet exist without the North Pole? So wherever there is a positiveness, there is a negativeness behind it. Wherever there is negativeness, there is positiveness behind it. It's like, oh, I'm not going to fall sick. It's a good positive thinking with a negative connotation. But the idea is, if I say I'm going to be healthy all the time, the reason my mind is making me say that is, I'm also thinking of the possibility of falling sick, isn't it? So even though I'm talking positive, there is a negativity behind it. So the only way we can escape, we cannot escape one versus the other. We cannot be positive all the time. We cannot be negative all the time. But there is a way to go above it. Going above it is meditation. Going above all our opposites, connecting to this higher source is meditation. When I am at the connected to the higher source, sometimes it is required to be angry. Sometimes it is required to be stubborn. Sometimes it is required to be very egoistic. Okay. But when we develop the right discernment, we know how much anger I can carry. Typically, a meditative mind gets angry, but only for a moment because that moment demands that anger. But the moment is past, you are normal. Chariji used to say our heart should be like a sponge, not like a rock. A rock can be broken. Sponge, how much ever pressure you apply it, it contracts. The moment you release the pressure, it regains its original state. So we have to be like that. There is some pressure, it contracts. That means you have to get angry. And the moment is past, you are not carrying that anger. So that is simplicity. Okay. All right. So we pretty much finished the seventh point. And seventh point is again, it's intuition. And now we have gone above the opposites. So the pind means the heart region or the region, the consciousness of the bodily spectrum. Now we have passed. So think of consciousness is like a spectrum from zero to infinity. In that infinite spectrum, when we are connected with the body, we can think of it as a lower consciousness. When it goes beyond the body, it enters into the higher conscious state, supraconscious state. And recently, this question came up. The people under the influence of heavy intoxicants and drugs, they will also have some supernatural spiritual experiences. What do you say about it? This was a question last week to me. I said, how much ever you go in the influence of drugs, you can only tap into your subconscious state, but never the higher supraconscious state. So the subconscious state is giving an illusion that you are in a spiritual experience. But subconscious is all past. Supraconsciousness is always higher quality. So subconsciousness means consciousness means think of it like awareness. So that's why Daji defines the consciousness as degree of awareness and also the degree of unawareness. The unawareness is the supraconscious part. The awareness is already happened, so you know it. See, when you look at a dog, how do you say it is dog? Because that information is already in your subconscious state. Suppose if you have never seen a dog, you cannot name it as a dog, right? So I've always given this example when the Columbus reached the shores of the Mexico, the Native Americans. The Native Americans have never seen a ship like that. Even though the ship is in front of their eyes, they were only looking at the changes in the water waves, and it is telling them something is big in the ocean. But it took them about 20 minutes to recognize the ship which is right in front of them. Their mind did not process the ship because they have never seen a ship like that. This was in the NASA documents. One of my friend who works in NASA shared it with me. Right? So you see how the mind, it has to develop that awareness, and all that awareness goes into the past awareness goes into your subconscious states. It is easy to tap into the subconscious states, but it is difficult. It requires this higher transmission for us to tap into the supraconscious state. So here the journey is of the supraconscious state, and cleaning is of the subconscious state. So we're cleaning all the impressions from our subconscious state so that that subconscious state also becomes free. Means it develops the quality of the supraconscious state. So that's how the system works. Okay. All right. So now today we can enter the eighth chakra. So eighth chakra, the prominence element is fire again. And it is same as the third chakra. Correct? So, I mean, the simple math is like, if the eighth chakra is similar to third chakra is because the pind pradesh has five elements, one, two, three, four, five. So the rest will follow the same pattern. So 8 minus 5 is 3. If you say 7th chakra is similar to the second chakra, ninth chakra is similar to the fourth chakra, you just have to subtract minus 5. That will tell you it is similar as the third chakra. And the defining quality is peace. The main feelings are wonder, peace, surrender. Similar vibrations as the third chakra. And the points nearby is Chit Lake, Passion, and Saraswati. We'll read more into this aspects of Chit Lake and how the Chit Lake works and helps us in our journey and discernment. And so the region is called Prapanna. So when we talk about the regions, what is a region? Suppose, I mean, even if you divide America into some northern, southern, mid regions, right? West region, East region, Central America, Southern America, things like that. So the best way to look at, in a very simple diagram, if I have to say, and I've drawn this several times. If I draw a V shape like this, see, as you go upward, the area to cover is increasing. So at the lower, the region you can cover, expand is very small. Small. So at every region, this becomes the threshold. Unless you master this entire expansion, the consciousness expands to these edges, you're not pushed to the next level. Again, we start at the single point here and expand across. So this, if you look at it like this, understand it like this, as you move upwards in your spiritual journey, the region is becoming vast. So that means the amount of time you would be sending at a point is growing, it's increasing. But one is very sincere, they have to make this growth fast. So how do you make this growth fast is basically adhering to the practice, simplify your life. Simplifying life doesn't mean from a material positions, but from the complex mental situations. We keep on facing, as we are facing the external world, we are seeing there is never a fairness in the external world. So it's wrong to expect any fairness from anyone, even from yourself. So the life moves on, as it moves on. So that aspect, when you can accept the life, the way it moves on is surrender. Surrender means acceptance. So this is how the region is defined as. So as you are going, the region, the length and breadth we need to cover, expand in that region increases. Okay. So let me clear this diagram. All right. So let's start reading about I'll just read, a couple of paragraphs and then we can get into meditation. So, in the jagged wilderness of the Jalani forest in the kingdom of Kosla, there lived a dacoit who killed travelers and collected their right hand pinky fingers as souvenirs. He wore these fingers into a garland, which he wore around his neck. The morbid display of his skills earned him the name Anguli Mala, meaning the one who wears the garland of fingers. So the legend goes that he had slain 999 people and was waiting the 1000th victim to complete his garland. One fateful day, he prowled forest for next victim. He saw a monk strolling alone. By that point, everyone in the kingdom knew of the dacoit's viciousness, and no one dared to walk the forest alone. Yet, here was a monk enjoying his walk alone. The Angulimala bolted to pin down the monk, but as he lunged for the monk seemed to float farther away. After a few failed attempts, frustrated, he roared, "Monk, stop now." The monk, none other than Buddha, turned around and his eyes met the Angulimala. In those moments, the dacoit saw the unending depths of the Buddha's eyes. And I have stopped, the Buddha whispered. When will you stop? The Buddha's kindness and loving sympathy dissolved Angulimala's hate and and hate and rage. A merged glance and a few words have transformed Angulimala. He fell at the feet of Buddha and sought redemption. It is said that Angulimala became a disciple of Buddha, even composed scriptures. So, this basically says the possibilities are equal to everyone. The most vicious person like Angulimala or us, the possibility is there, but we have to be open to that possibility. What Angulimala experienced was awe, a profound moment where you come across something so surreal, majestic, and limitless, all your ideas, conditioning, and frameworks dissolve. In those moments of awe, the human spirit transforms. So, modern day psychologists studying awe describe it as a spiritual, moral, and aesthetic emotion, the wonder. You will see, in lot of spaces, this how the wonder, a spiritual mind, a contemplative mind enters the state of wonder. It wonders at everything because it is open, it is not judgmental. The state of wonder is where you are not in judgment, you are experiencing that honest, the beauty, right? When I in my life when I first saw Grand Canyon, I can only say I just wondered at it, the beauty, the how it is. But these are external. But even spiritual states creates even more wonder in you as we go through it, right? So the towering granite cliffs of Yosemite, of the limitless of the Pacific Ocean, the moving beauty of Vermeer, the profound depth of meditation. So is all the states which are filling us with honest that wonder, right? So all these transcending moments, we are going to experience as we go through in this spiritual journey. We just have to be open to it. So I'll stop here.